beautiful people, welcome back. I missed you guys so much. Thank you for joining me tonight for the premiere of season 2 of Just Be You After Dark with me, your host, Mahogany Reynolds, Miss Just Be You. Oh my God, we are going to have so much fun tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. I have the amazing Dana Ali as my special guest this evening. She is going to be performing live for us, and we're going to have a virtual party. So I don't know about you, honey, but I already have my toast, okay? So I want to say cheers to you. I want to say happy autumn to you. I want to say that I hope that you had a good summer. As difficult as everything was, I really do hope that you were able to find some joy this summer and do some things that were fun for you and your family. I hope that you are focused still about what it is that you want to accomplish this year, and that you are not going to allow anything or anybody to distract you. We still have 2 months left before this year is over. So I don't want you to think that, oh, I don't have enough time now. What am I going to do? You still have time, honey. I am still doing this show in my home studio. I'm not letting anything stop me. I'm not letting anything block me. And I encourage you to never let anything stop or block your blessing. If anything is in your way, you have to pray about it so that it can be moved. You don't have to fight every battle, and you don't have to tussle with everybody. But you do need to be focused, and you do need to be determined. And when you have that determination and that faith, you can do anything. So without further delay, I want to introduce my special guest, Miss Dana Ali. Now let me tell you a little bit about Miss Dana Ali. Dana is originally from Atlanta, and she started her career as a vocalist, and she decided that she wanted to move to the UK and London, England, honey, so that she can expand her horizons. That's what I'm talking about. Expanding your horizons, stepping outside of your comfort zone, and not being afraid of trying something new and different. So that's what she did. And honey, let me tell you, when she got over there, them people loved her, and they still do. So she is actually joining us from London. Now get this, it is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in New York, all right? But Dana is in London, and it is in the middle of the night over there. But she is so committed to her art. She is such a true professional that she will show up no matter what time it is so that she can do her thing. And when you guys hear her sing and perform, you're going to be so uplifted. You're going to have fun. So I just thank everybody for being here with me tonight. Now, periodically, as the show progresses, I'm going to check to see who's watching. I'll try to give you a little shout out. But if I don't have time to do that, no worries. You know I'm always going to do it at the end. I will never leave you guys out. I really do appreciate everybody that's been watching this show since I started it way back in February, even before the quarantine started. I didn't expect a quarantine, but I just wanted to do something different. And as a result, the show just grew and grew and grew and grew. And I'm just so excited. And I really, really, really appreciate you so much. I also want to say a quick shout out to Dale and DJ. That's my family. They helped me out so much with the lighting and the setup and dealing with me trying to get focused. I really do appreciate you, and I really want you to know that I love you so much. And this is just the beginning, because when this quarantine is over and this COVID is over, whatever over means, trust and believe this show is getting ready to go through a whole new transformation. But in the meantime, in the between time, I am content being right here, honey, with you in the virtual lounge, the Just Be You lounge. So thank you so much for joining us. Now, Dana's going to perform her first song. And that song is called What You Want, honey. Now, this song is about a woman that is fierce, and she is driven, and she knows exactly what she wants, and she also knows what she doesn't want. Now, you guys have heard me talk about that so much. If you go back and look at previous episodes, or sometimes when I go live and I do something who are from the UK, Dana Ali. I am so excited to hear her sing, and I'm so grateful that all of you guys are here with me tonight for Just Be You After Dark Season 2 with me, Mahogany Reynolds. So everybody, let's clap it up. Let's clap it up in the virtual building. And let's have some fun. And when she gets done singing, we are going to have an interview. And yes, trust me, we're going to be real, because that's all I do here at Just Be You After Dark. So Dana, hello, beautiful.
Thank you. So do you.
You look so pretty. Oh my goodness, you go, girl. So we're going to have a good time. Everybody is so excited to meet you and hear your journey and your story. But before we get all into our girl talk for our virtual ladies night, we're going to hear you sing, and we are so excited. And thank you so much for being a guest on the show, Dana. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Mahogany. I'm so excited.
Awesome. All right. Well, Dana, the floor is all yours, honey.
All right. Thank you very much.
Wow. Yes. Oh my goodness. It's so important for women to know what they want.
I know, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. So, Miss Dana, you get comfortable, sweet, beautiful, and we're gonna have us a nice little conversation. Yes, we are. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for watching the season premiere of season 2 of Just For You After Dark with me, your host, Mahogany Reynolds. And I have a wonderful guest with me tonight. Her name is Dana Ali. And Dana is originally from Atlanta, Georgia, and she is now based in the UK. She is a vocalist, she's a songwriter, she is an entertainer extraordinaire. She has this very powerful presence on stage. She performs live in London and they love her. And I'm so grateful that she decided to be a part of the show tonight. So just sit back and relax, enjoy the conversation, and you might just be inspired because there's people out there who are watching right now who have dreams of their own, dreams that you thought are deferred, dreams that you thought you still can't achieve. Maybe you think you're too young or you're too old or you're too this or this too that. Let's just take all of that and ball it up and throw it away because you can do anything you set your mind to. Isn't that right, Dana?
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely. So, Dana, I want to talk a little bit about what is it like being an artist right now in these unprecedented, unpredictable, uncertain times that we are in right now? What have you been learning about yourself and about the industry, and what changes have you had to make because of the COVID-19 situation as an artist?
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna lie, it's really hard, but it forces us to reach out or to step out of our box, doesn't it? It changes our perspective on things, and it's really made me look at things differently. What can I do? Because we can't do live gigs anymore. And that was primarily what I was doing every week, relentlessly. And so now refocusing on making our presence even more on social media, and focusing on recording and writing. Even like you've done, just making a way to be able to do it at home. So I've had to find out, I don't do tech much very well. So teaching ourselves how to do these things is definitely out of the box, but it's been a learning curve, and staying positive is, like you're saying, it's the biggest thing. Glad I have a God that's big on, for that, because otherwise it'd be very discouraging.
Very true, very true. And a lot of people that are in the arts, like you said, you went from performing on a regular basis and then suddenly, nope, can't do that. And as a singer, how do you perform wearing a mask? It's almost impossible because you can't breathe correctly. Part of the greatest attribute of being a strong vocalist is your breathing technique. So if that's hindered, then what can you do? So I am I'm very, very determined to encourage other artists to stay creative, even if this situation unfortunately extends itself into next year, which it seems like it will. So then what do you do? Do you say, well, I guess I just can't sing anymore. I'll just put my mic up. I won't do anything until I can get back on stage and do it the way I used to, or do it the way I've been dreaming. But if you do that, you just never know what can happen. So it's important for you to just stay the course. Yeah. And just because your blessing is delayed, it's not denied. Just because your blessings change doesn't mean that you're still not chosen. You just have to stay focused. What have you been doing to stay creative and stay focused during like that 3 months? Oh my goodness, that quarantine. What did you do, Dana? How did you keep yourself sane?
Well, Yeah, it's the same thing. Well, first I have a husband who plays with me. He plays bass, and we have been in the band together. And he's like he's like my number one fan, and so we can be creative together. And I'm blessed to have someone that I can be creative with. Um, so we sit down and we write. Well, yeah, we write together. And then we write separately and come back together and try to make something work, see if it works. And then also, my producer in Nashville, who is Alan Shacklock, he sends stuff over. It's like the transatlantic technology where he can send files over and back and forth and be able to. Now that studios have been closed, I haven't been able to go in, so I've had to do it at home now. So I'm learning how to do that, and so far, so good. Yeah, so that's been keeping the creative juices flowing.
That's good. It's important to have people that are supportive of your dreams, and you are, like you said, you're very blessed, and so am I, to have someone who is very encouraging and supportive and can kind of tell you, I know you can't do this show the way you usually do, but what you're doing is impactful. It is making a difference. It is important. People are enjoying it. So just keep up what you're doing. And when things change, then you can go back out and do things the way you were before. Or I may decide, you know what, I really don't miss that. So maybe I don't want to do that anymore. Maybe this is the new version of what I will be doing. Who knows? But you have to stay open, right, Dana? You have to be open, because as an artist, things can change no matter what.
Right.
Even if there is no COVID, a lot of things can happen in your career that makes you have to bend and be flexible and adapt, right? What do you think is the most challenging thing that a young artist might be struggling with right now? Because when you're more mature, you can handle change a whole lot better. But when you're young and you're used to things being a certain way and then suddenly they're not, what kind of words of encouragement can you give a young singer, a young actor, whoever in the performing arts who may be feeling discouraged right now?
Yeah, well, I think previously we had a conversation a bit about this, with not being so, it's great that youth vigor and excitement about wanting to get things done and so excited to experiment and try new things is great, but taking it in stride, taking steps to prepare, and just to remember to be themselves and not try to be someone else.
Very true. Very true. With social media, it has made it easier for young artists, independent artists who are not signed to an agency or something like that, to get their work out there, to show their talent and everything. But I think also the downside of social media is that young artists and young people in general will probably get caught into the whole finding their self-worth through social media.
Yeah.
And that's a big mistake. Your self-worth comes from within your spirit.
Yeah.
Your self-worth cannot come from something outside of you, because the people who like your post today could thumb you down tomorrow. The people who say, oh my goodness, I love Mahogany show, she's so fabulous, and then the next day if something doesn't go their way, they're like, oh my God, I don't like her. So it's kind of like, that's fine. I'm content with the thumbs up and I'm content with the thumbs down, because I know who I am.
Yeah.
And when you're young, you're still navigating all that, right, Dana? You're trying to figure yourself out, find your footing and find your place in the world. But, young people who may be watching, we really do want you to know that your self-worth is internal. and that it doesn't have to come from something outside of you. And when you really are sure and confident about who you are, then you attract positive things comes your way, right, Dana? Has there been some experiences in your life where you feel like because you were carrying yourself with a certain level of self-confidence and grace, that opportunities just started to navigate themselves towards you?
Yeah, it does tend to work like that. I know when you stop worrying about the next thing, when you're content, when you have patience, um, you're not trying so hard to make things happen,
Mm,
and so things sort of kind of come along in due course.
very true. Now, your career journey, when you were in Atlanta, were you performing there, or were you preparing yourself to travel internationally and perform? Tell us a little bit about how you got from Atlanta all the way over to England.
Well, I started in the church. So, and then I met my husband there, and we started to take it outside of the church as part of it's part of my growth, really. It's like, oh, I really can do this. And we started doing small gigs in Atlanta, things that up and coming events, and it just started growing from there. And I got really excited about performing and growing as a woman, really. And we decided that we wanted to move. Well, my husband's from England, so that was the encouraging thing for us. Was okay. Well, let's try our journey. Everything was actually leading up to making the move. So it wasn't like all of a sudden we want to go to London and we want to go, make it over there. It was a gradual thing that made us that led us here, say. So when I came, I was 5 months pregnant, so there had to be a halt for a moment. But we quickly got back into the game, and it was interesting starting here, because obviously the culture is totally different. So trying to relate and them relate to me, I don't know. It was a challenge, but it was a challenge that I was willing to go for, and ever since it's been awesome. I love it.
Wow, that's amazing. Do you feel that you are received more openly internationally than you were or could be in America?
That's a good question. I'm not sure that is the case. Some places there might be, and then there's some places that don't know what to do with me. Okay, you got an African American, she sings soul, funk, and they want to put me in a category. Well, obviously, all artists, we're all put in some kind of category, aren't we? But trying to figure out what the right audience for me is, and where I'll be most accepted and excited to. It's kind of hard to explain. I think just being here is stretched me immensely, because I've been able to connect in a different way. Whereas in Atlanta, it's like I know what to expect in some ways, and how to relate, which is, I love it in both ways. I'd love to come back and be able to come back to, home. that's still home to me. But here, I've really enjoyed getting to know people from all over Europe, and it's been really exciting to be able to perform and connect, and then them say, wow, here's an American, what are you doing over here? So it has been exciting, and it's been a big learning curve, but yeah, I really like it.
I asked you that question because when I think back, there was a time in the music industry specifically, or just the arts in general, where a lot of African American artists were not well received here in America, were not treated fairly, had to enter in through the kitchen, and couldn't perform in certain venues, or you could perform but you can't eat here. You can perform but you can't stay in this hotel. That kind of treatment. And so, but when they went over to Europe, none of that was the case, and they were able to be treated with equality on a level that they weren't not getting here in America. And it's possible that there's still a hint of that, especially in the climate that we are in right now.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. I mean, it's kind of like, okay, it's 2020, it's about to be 2021. Why are we still dealing with this?
Yeah, really.
When is this gonna stop? So it's frustrating in a lot of ways. But I'm very encouraged by your story, because I think that it will show people that if you are not being well received in your own backyard, so to speak, there's a whole world out there. If you're just brave enough to just give it a try. And if you don't want to go as far as the UK people, you can try, maybe go to Toronto. Toronto, Canada is a fabulous place. I lived in Toronto and I modeled there, and I got more modeling work in a month, model of color there, than I would have gotten in New York in 6 months.
Wow.
So there's just a big difference. And I too have been to Europe, and it's a completely different culture. It's a completely different environment. So I say all this to say to everyone who's watching, expand your horizons. Get outside of that little box that you put yourself in. Now, right now, you might be thinking, Mahogany, where am I going? It's COVID, girl. I understand all of that, but you can still make plans. Nothing's stopping you from making plans. Even if all you're doing is just writing down what it is you want to do, a place that you might want to go. You can still just write it down, and that way it's something that's ingrained in your mind, it's in your spirit, and when the time comes, you set aside a little money here and there, you'll be ready, right, Dana? Instead of just saying, well, I don't know, I'm not doing nothing right now, so I'll just stay where I'm at, and it is what it is. And I know that for a lot of people, they're doing that, but I know in my spirit, they're not happy.
Right.
And it's important to embrace your happiness right now. My last question for you before you sing your next song, beautiful. If you were able to have a conversation with your 20-year-old self, what advice would you give her right now in this moment? If you were having a conversation with your 20-year-old self, what would you tell her?
I would say, just be you. Don't be afraid of being yourself. And go out with the same passion that you have for music. And don't be afraid. Don't let that fear drive you. Because I know I did when I was about that age. I was afraid of what people thought of me. I was afraid of what I thought people thought that I needed to do. So later on, that led me to write a song called "Breathe in Love." So yeah, don't be afraid.
Nice.
And
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, Dana's going to get herself set up to sing her next song. So, Dana, while you do that, I'm just going to pause your video and then I'll ask you to start it back up. So, Dana is going to perform another song for us. And while she gets herself set up, I just want to let you guys know that I have another show coming up on the 31st. And it's kind of, well, I don't want to necessarily call it a Halloween episode because I know everybody doesn't celebrate Halloween, but it is going to be on October the 31st. So that is Halloween night, and I will be dressed up, but maybe I could just call it a dress up party. I don't know. But I have a wonderful guest who's going to be on there. His name is Andrew Barrow. Now, if you watch any of the other episodes of Just Be You After Dark, the season 1, you may have seen Andrew Barrow perform. He's amazing. He's a stand-up comedian. He is so funny. He's from Maryland, and he's going to be on the show on the 31st. And then in November, I'm going to be collaborating with Andrew for his own show that he's going to do live in Maryland, and I'm going to stream it live on Just Be You After Dark. So you're going to be able to get your laugh on, honey, because we need some laughter. That's why I do this show, because we need music, we need inspiration, we need laughter, we need love, we need to have hope. There's so much negativity going on right now. And if you are spending so much time watching the news, you're just overwhelmed by it all. May I encourage you to take a break, put that on pause, and redirect your energy and start thinking about what it is you want. Okay, just like Dana said, I got what you want, I got what you need. You need to think about what it is that you want and think about what it is that you need. Now, her next song that she's going to sing for us is called Shame. Now, this song is kind of related to the first song. It is about a strong, confident, fierce woman who does whatever she needs to do to get the attention of the man that she wants. Honey, I ain't mad at that. So, Dana, are you all set?
I'm all set.
Fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to just let me know that you're in the virtual building. If you are watching right now, please let me know what city and state you're in so that I can acknowledge you. I really appreciate you for watching tonight. I hope that everybody is well. And you know what? Even if you're not feeling all that great, I send you positive vibes. I send you thoughts of healing and happiness. And I'm so grateful that you're here tonight for the premiere of season 2 of Just Be You After Dark. So without further delay, Dana Ali, go girl, I can't wait.
Thanks, Mahogany. Don't know. I'm wondering if just one kiss and it'll understand. Better catch me while you can. It'll be a shame. What's going through your head? Catch your blood and drink out. Think of a phone and call me instead. Think about it. This is insane. I'm sitting over here, I'm sitting over there. We can be temperature rising. Feels like July. It could be hotter than here. Just one kiss and you'll understand. Better catch me while you can. one kiss, no understand. Lord, catch me while you can. Oh, baby, it's a Saturday night. So full moon and a bottle of wine. Just one kiss, you'll understand. Lord, catch me while you can. Oh, baby, just one kiss, and you'll understand. Lord, catch me while you can.
Wow. Just seeing you perform just at home, I mean, I would just love, 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 love to go to one of your concerts.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Only imagine, honey. I bet your performances live are absolutely amazing. So let's finish this conversation because I am enjoying this. Let me pick up my notes and put them down.
I'll pull you up.
I am enjoying this conversation. I'm learning so much about you and learning so much about the importance of not giving up on yourself.
Yes.
Because we live in a world, sadly enough, where the world will give up on you real quick.
Yes, it will.
1 minute the world loves you, and the next minute they hate you.
Yeah.
And if you really are so wishy-washy with yourself, then you just gonna let people determine your value and people determine your worth, and you shouldn't do that. Now, when you're young, like we were saying, when she was 20, when I was 20, you're still trying to figure all that out. You're still trying to figure out who you are, what you want, where you want to go. And you're oftentimes influenced by your peers, and you do things that you think that will get you liked and accepted and wanted and things of that nature. But when you get grown, you realize the world was out thinking, I don't need you to validate me.
Yeah.
I don't need you to like me. I like myself enough just the way I am. And that takes time. But it's important for younger women to see this show because maybe we could save them the stress.
Yes.
If they would just listen to what we are saying, then they could save themselves the stress. And we didn't have social media back then. That's just extra pressure.
Yeah.
Just extra unnecessary pressure, if you ask me. Now, I want to ask you a little bit about for those who are, because I'm steady telling people to follow your dreams and have hope and all of this. Okay, yeah, Mahogany, but how do I do that? How do I break into the music industry? Is there any advice that you can give an aspiring artist who wants to get into the industry? What do you think they should do? And what are most importantly some things that they should never do?
All right. Well, they should never lose sight of themselves. That's the first thing. Well, that's the theme, just be you. But I think the important thing is you need to keep your focus on what it is that you want and set goals for yourself. Keep working hard. Learn as much as you can. Learn from the people that have gone before you that are doing it, and reach out to people. Reach out to people, like-minded people that are doing things that you want to do. If you sing, reach out to some singers. If you play instrument, reach out to some people that play that instrument. Or, if you're, trying to produce your own music and you don't have a clue, like me, I don't have a clue, then reach out to those people that are doing it, because that's the only, that's the good place to start anyway, I think. And as far as, being in the industry, it is very hard. I can say for myself, it's just hard to reach out to the right people. But like we were saying before, at the right time, in the right place, at the right time, if it is something, or the plan that you have that's planned for you will happen.
Very true.
Get that out, but
no, that makes perfect sense, and it's hard for people who are eager, like you were saying before. It doesn't matter. I don't want to make it seem like I'm harping on young folk. I'm not young folk. I love y'all. Miss Mahogany love the kids. All right, that's not it. What I'm saying is you have to be patient. And young people have a tendency to be very impatient. My son, DJ, is impatient sometimes, and I love him, but I have to help him understand that everything happens in the season, and everything happens at a proper time, and you can't rush perfection.
Right.
You have to practice something. He has a desire to be a filmmaker, so that takes time. Editing film footage is time consuming, because I'm the editor of my own show. Okay, so I know how much time it takes, and you have to have patience. You can't get frustrated in the process and just abandon it. So you really have to have patience. And as an actor or a singer or a model or painter or sculptor or whatever your vocation is, when you're in the arts, there's just certain things that have to line up, right, Dana? They have to just line up, and there's no magic potion behind it. And I personally do not believe in this thing called luck. I don't subscribe to that. I've never been lucky in my life. I've always been blessed.
Yeah.
And I've always been prepared for the blessing.
Yes.
Because I just try my best to keep myself fine-tuned. We were talking about this the other day, that as an artist, your body is your instrument. And so when you abuse it and you don't take good care of it, then it's going to let you down.
Yeah.
But when you take great care of yourself, you can get up there and perform like Miss Dana, honey, with all of that energy and all of that fierceness and that fire. And you can't, you won't get winded in the middle of the song, because I'm pretty sure your live performances, how many songs do you generally sing when you do a live show?
Close to, what would you say, 30? No. It's usually 2 to 3 sets of like 45 minutes or to an hour. So
wow.
Like 2 or 3 hours worth of music.
That's a lot. That's a lot. And you think a song is somewhere around 3 minutes, 4 minutes long at the most. So that's a lot. That's a lot. And that requires a lot of stamina. So I'm pretty sure you eat healthy and you take great care of yourself. Do you like to cook?
I do like to cook.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
Ooh, what's my favorite thing? Well, we had salmon today.
I love salmon. Do you bake yours or do you saute it on the stove?
Bake it.
Really? Delish. You have to send me the recipe, and then I'll send you my recipe, because I do mine on the stove. I sear it, honey. With some olive oil with some herbs. Make me some homemade mashed potatoes. Pour myself a glass of wine, and there you go. Yes, indeed. I'm pretty sure a lot of people had to learn how to cook that didn't really know what to do in the kitchen. They didn't know nothing about cooking until this quarantine. Yeah. And they couldn't run to the restaurant, so they probably was freaking out, because you can't have hot dogs every day.
Google search was busy.
Right. Fantastic. Now, Dana, we touched on this a little. but I kind of want to go back to it. As a woman of color, have you experienced any very blatant obstacles, challenges, hindrances towards you just because of being a woman of color in this industry? And how did you overcome that? What did you do to keep yourself motivated and encouraged?
Well, we all know that, well, I'll just talk to you. We know that it's undercurrent racism. I mean, sometimes you can't detect it.
Mm.
So you don't necessarily see it coming, but there's hints that you notice. You kind of look in your environment and you go, it's not right. You know in your heart, it's just not right. There was a time where, actually not very long after I moved here, we ended up in a small social club. It was called, well, I don't want to name names. Anyway, there was a place we were in. And let's just say they were very traditional, and they were very used to the way things have always been. And when my family came in, you've got, when we walked in, it was all eyes on you. And it was just a weird vibe, but we kept going in because it was near and it was a place for us to kind of just wind down. And one day someone in the club just decided to blurt out, "This ain't no blah 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 blah." Fresh, as in your kids are making noise and stuff, and they weren't. And it was just a big to do about nothing, really. And I finally found afterwards. Also, my husband heard someone say some things when they saw Black people in a football match on the screen. And said some words, and that were just derogatory. And it was just like, okay, now I actually see what's going on. I understand. And it really made me angry, made all of us angry. And it was just like, it was eating me up inside for days. I couldn't settle. And I remember in the early hours of the morning, I wrote lyrics and became a song called "Winding Me Up." Because it really did wind me up. I was so angry. But this doesn't happen everywhere, obviously. I'm just answering your question that, I have experienced that, and it's not a nice feeling. It actually really sucks. But for me to write that song, it helped me release my feelings, and it helped me actually fight back, because I am bigger than this. I'm bigger than that. Whatever, is going on there, and it's not happening here. So when we perform that song, it's like winding me up. They just keep winding me. And it's like, I remember that moment, but at the same time, it's like fighting for everybody else who's gone through, whether it's, racial, or whether it's something else that you've experienced, those people that really get under your skin and they wind you up.
Right. That's very powerful. Very powerful. And I've had some subtle situations and some just right in your face situations as well. And it's hard for us. It's not to say that it's not hard for people in general. Life is tough. Okay. But as an artist of color, as a Black woman particularly, just the things that we have to deal with, the things that we have to put up with, which to me makes it so important for us to support each other.
Yes.
To support each other. You were talking about the advice to give a young artist for them to reach out to someone who's doing what they want to do. a musician who may be playing the same instrument as them, or a singer, or reaching out to an actor who may be doing the type of acting that you want to do. And we're not talking about people who necessarily have to be superstars. I mean, you can reach out to those people too. You never know, they might respond. But we're talking about people that you are actually able to see when you go to a performance, or people that you might be watching on YouTube and subscribing to their channels. You can just send them a message and say, hey, I'm thinking about getting into the industry, and I would love just to get a little advice from you. If you just have a few minutes to just answer a few questions for me, how do I go about approaching a record label, or what's something that I shouldn't do when I go on audition? Just asking, instead of assuming, well, they're not going to have time for me, they're going to be too busy. Because it's important as a community collectively that we support one another, and get out of that mindset, well, if I help her, then how's that going to help me, because she might take my spot. No, boo, it's not all about you. Whatever blessing that God has for you is yours. Whatever's for her is for her, and whatever's for him is for him. It doesn't have anything to do with you. And I personally feel that the more that you do to help other people,
yes,
the more blessed you will be ultimately. But the less that you do for other people, the less you're going to be blessed. Now, some people may seem like they're blessed. They may have all the money and all the fame and all the fortune and all the spotlight, but you just never know what's going on behind closed doors in their personal life. You probably don't realize how often they may be feeling despondent and in despair and unfulfilled and unhappy. So it's not about chasing money and fame. It's about what can you do to make things brighter in this world? What kind of art can you give to make the world brighter? When you sit down to write a song, what is usually something that inspires you? What is your primary intention when you compose your music?
Well, and it has to do with, a lot of times, just how I feel. For me, it's an outpouring of my soul. If I'm feeling something strongly, then I believe somebody else out there is going through the same thing. So I'm learning to bare my soul. I think that's always going to be something to learn, something that never will come easy, because music is very personal and very just very personal and intimate. That was the word I was looking for.
Yes, it is. And it's like you were saying, bearing your soul. You're exposing yourself in a good way. and you're allowing people to see your vulnerability. You're inviting people into your heart. And that's why I think artists are the most sensitive creatures on the planet. I know I'm sensitive. And like Erykah Badu said, keep in mind that I'm an artist and I'm sensitive.
Yeah.
We are very sensitive. And the reason is it's not because we're narcissistic. Well, some artists are, but that's not it. It's because we are giving so much of ourselves to you.
Right.
And we're opening ourselves up to you. And now, because of the coronavirus, people are literally opening up their homes.
Yeah.
So you're sitting at home and I'm sitting at home. And I mean, anybody who's doing a show or performing now, a lot of them are doing it at home. So now that's an even more intimate situation. So us supporting each other and encouraging each other and being kind to one another is so important, because everything that you give out is going to come back.
Yes.
Definitely. Now, your next song is absolutely delicious. This song is called Chocolate Dream. Mm, 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 mm. I love that song. When I first heard that song, and I don't really like to do this a lot because I never want to make it seem like I'm comparing an artist to someone else. But if you don't mind, I just want to tell you that when I heard this song and I hear this richness like chocolate in your voice, it reminds me of Nancy Wilson.
Wow.
And I've always respected and admired her as a true vocalist.
No.
I mean, there's a fundamental difference, in my opinion, between someone who can get up and entertain me versus someone who can really lay down some vocals.
Oh,
And that's what you sound like to me. And I had that feeling like, oh, I feel like I need to be in a jazz lounge somewhere in Milan or London. Yes, London, since you're in London, you know. When I get over there, I'm coming to see you. So you can take me to one of these nice little London cafes or something like that. But yeah, it kind of had that velvet richness, and I could go on and on and on, but honey, they want to hear. They don't want to hear me running my mouth about it, so let me just be quiet. And I'm going to set up this song for you. So ladies and gentlemen, Dana Ali is going to perform another selection for us this evening. And if you are just tuning in, I'm just so happy. I just love you so much. Thank you so much for being here in the virtual lounge with me. This is my new Just Be You After Dark lounge. And I am Mahogany Reynolds, Miss Just Be You. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I hope that you are enjoying the show. I have a special guest. Her name is Dana Ali, and she is originally from Atlanta, Georgia, but now she resides in the UK, in London, and that is where she is at this very moment. So right now it's like a little after 10 o'clock at night here in New York area, but where she is, it's like in the middle of the night. And she is so committed to her craft as an artist that she says, you know what, Mahogany, don't worry about it. I'm going to be ready. And we are having such a wonderful, authentic conversation. It's just like two girlfriends just hanging out. So she's going to sing her next song. And this song is called Chocolate Dream, okay? And the song is about the ultimate love. Now, don't we need love? You know, and if you're single, you can still have love. That love that you are seeking needs to first come from within yourself. And when you know how to love on yourself, then the love that you're looking for, it will make its way to you in due season. I say that all the time. You just have to wait for your season, and you don't really know when that's going to happen. But in the meantime, love yourself, okay? And take good care of yourself. And for all of us women like myself who are married, you still need to love yourself too. Definitely, we want our husbands to love us, to treat us well, and to do things for us. But your inner love is really what's going to keep you solid and keep you strong and keep you happy as a woman. And that is going to basically filter out everything and everyone around you. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome again Mrs. Dana Ali. She is going to perform for us her latest song, Chocolate Dream, and she is performing live in London. Dana, it's all you, babe.
Thank you, Mahogany.
Take me there where you are, to a place, take me far, where we can laugh and play all day. so I can't fall. My spirit's free to fly. I'm so tall. You carry the weight and shield my feet. You say, honey, don't worry, I'm right here. My chocolate dream, my chocolate dream, my chocolate dream, my chocolate dream, my every dream. Lifting me up off of my feet, giving me wings, baby, I'm soaring. Sacrificing life for truth is the gift to love your heart truly. Yeah, sensation rises through the fire, igniting you, the burn desire. For your embrace, temptation drives us one to the chase. You carry the weight and shield my feet. Honey, don't worry, I'm right here. My chocolate dream, my chocolate dream, my chocolate dream. Lifting me up off of my feet. I'm flying, giving me wings. I'm soaring. Oh, my body aches for something real. There's passion, boy, I feel beautiful in his eyes. This strong woman I can recognize. The chocolate dream, the chocolate dream, the chocolate dream, the chocolate dream. You are lifting me up, lifting me up, lifting me up, and me wings. Baby, I'm soaring. The chocolate dream, the chocolate dream, the chocolate dream, the chocolate dream. I'm flying, lifting me up, oh, lifting me up, oh, lifting me up, I'm soaring. Take me.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Now, Dana, your music is a combination of your beautiful talent, your beautiful voice, your willingness to share your soul, and also the people who you work with, such as the Grammy Award-winning songwriter Drew Ramsey, and also a producer, Alan Shallock, who is a renowned producer in Nashville. And then you said your husband, he plays bass guitar. So you're surrounded by a lot of musical support.
Yes.
And does that help you, Dana, to stay encouraged when situations like COVID come up and you still have people in your corner who can keep you motivated. And as you said, when we first started the show, that you guys could collaborate and be creative together, even in a situation like this.
Yes, yes. I am blessed to be surrounded by such talent, and yeah, they do inspire me, and I think we inspire each other throughout this mess.
It is a mess, isn't it?
No, we don't know from one end to the other what we're going to do, when we're going to do it, and so it's you just got to keep being creative the best way that you can. And yeah, it has been really great to be able to connect with them.
Awesome. So we are going to wrap up our interview. Although I could sit here and talk to you for hours, I realize that in London it is almost 3:00 in the morning. So I do not want you to be up all night long, but you look absolutely beautiful, as if it's 12 noon high tea time. My last few questions. Did you have any visions for yourself, plans for the year 2020 that you had to adjust? And if so, what can people look forward to? I know you have the song that you just sang is coming out soon, or did it drop already?
Chocolate Dream just dropped out last week. So that's
nice.
Yes.
Now, where can we find it? On iTunes, Spotify? Where do we go so we can get your music? I know you have a website too, because is it Dana Ali Band or Dana Ali Music?
It's Dana Ali Band.
Awesome. Good. So did you hear that, everybody? DanaAliBand.com. And she's also right here on Facebook. So if you're watching the show and you see her beautiful face, you can just click on it and send her a friend request. And if we're friends, she'll accept you. But if she don't know you, she might not. I don't know. And you also have your own Facebook page, just like a page where people can learn more about you. That's Dana Ali Music?
It's just Dana Ali.
Nice. Fantastic. And Dana, you're also on Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
Dana Ali Band.
Good. So everybody, we want to show Dana Ali some support. Right now is the time for us to really listen to music that's really positive and make you feel good. We need to feel good. We don't need to be so wrapped up in all of the anger. It's enough angry people walking around. We don't need to add to it. Let's be about joy. Let's be about hope. And even when things are not going exactly the way you want, because don't get it twisted, my life ain't been no crystal stair, okay? Sometimes things just don't go right for me. But I am the most determined person I've ever met in my entire life. I do not let things and I do not let people stop me from what it is that I want to do. So I encourage you to try to build up your resilience, build up your stamina, build up your hope in yourself, even when you feel hopeless. Because you can do anything you set your mind to. You just got to get down in the dirt and get dirty with it and get it done. Okay, you can't grow nothing if you ain't gonna get dirty. You got to get up in the soil, right, Dana? Get country on your Georgia. You got to get your ass dirty. If you got to grow something, it ain't just gonna grow by itself. You got to plant it, you got to sow it, you got to tend to it, you got to take care of it, you got to water it, you got to nurture it, you got to pull them damn weeds out. Get the weeds out your life. All those people that's slowing you down, getting on your damn nerves, you don't need that. Bye.
Amen.
I love you so bad. All right, everybody, listen. Miss Dana, I would love for you to come back again before season 2 is over. I would love to have you come back again and do another performance for us. So I'll give you time to, write some new songs, maybe chocolate, vanilla, I don't know. And we're going to have you come back again because this has been so encouraging for me. I hope it has been encouraging for everybody that's watching. And I really do look forward to watching your star rise higher and higher and higher because you are definitely gifted. You're beautiful from the inside out. You're authentic. You're talented. And you're willing to share what you have been blessed with other people, including myself. So I feel very honored that you have been a part of the show tonight. Is there one last bit of advice or one final thought that you would like to share before we sign out for the evening?
Well, I want to thank you so much for having me on your show. And you've helped me, just so you know, you've helped me think about just being myself. I think we all have to remember that, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yes, be you. And that's when I thought about the name of my company years. I mean, it's been a long time when I started this company. And then I started to notice that people were starting to say, oh, just be yourself and la, 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 be yourself. And I'm like, okay, cool. I said it first, but it's okay. I'm grateful that people are starting to catch on to that because it's the truth, and just be you. You're going to bring your A game every time because you know that who you are is enough. It's just enough. Whatever you have to give in this moment is just what you need to give. And you don't have to compare yourself to anybody else. And be in the moment right here. Don't worry about tomorrow. Okay? Think about where you are right now. Have plans and visions for your future, but just live in the moment and don't get yourself so stressed out about what may happen or what won't happen or what did happen. Get out of the past. Don't stress out about tomorrow. Be in the moment. And you know who you are. Love who you are. And if you don't, then get some therapy so somebody can help you with that because it's so important. You cannot get into this entertainment industry. You can't even get into corporate America, really, and have a successful career if you don't know who you are. Right. And if you don't like who you are. So that's what this show is really all about, that and having a good time. And, everybody that watch the show, Miss Mahogany love her Chardonnay. So we're going to do our little toast, honey, because I'm a working mom. And thank God for wine.
Cheers to that, honey.
So, Dana, I want to toast to you that the last 2 months of 2020 brings you joy, brings you passion, brings you hope and happiness and health. I pray that whatever it is you wanted to do this year that you had to cancel, postpone, that you are able to do that in the future on a bigger and larger scale. And I look forward to having you back on the show. And I'm going to start looking at airfare, find me a nice, cute little boutique hotel so I can get my plans together to come to London so that we can dine and wine and have a fabulous time.
That would be great. And I would love to come to New York. So
fantastic. Good. So virtual toast.
Cheers.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching this episode of Just Be You After Dark with me, Mahogany Reynolds. I hope that you got something out of this episode. I hope that you realize that even in the midst of a global pandemic, that you can still do something for yourself, that you can still be creative, and that you can still pursue your destiny, because nothing outside of you can stop you. When you really realize that, you don't get too stressed out about stuff you ain't got no control over. Right, Dana?
Amen.
Amen indeed. So I'm going to have a nice glass of wine. I'm going to look at the feed and shout out everybody who watched the show. And I look forward to seeing you guys back on the 31st. I'm going to have a special guest, Andrew Barrow. He's going to do some stand-up comedy, and I'm going to be dressed up in my little costume. I ain't going to tell you what it is. You're just going to have to tune in to see, because you know me, I look different every episode. Got to keep it fresh and keep you guessing. All right? Dana, you have a great night.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Everybody, please be safe. Please don't take your mask off. What's wrong with folks? Keep your mask on. Take good care of yourself. Eat healthy. Love yourself. Pour yourself a glass of wine. If you don't drink wine, drink tea. Do something to make yourself feel at peace every day. And I will see you guys in the virtual lounge again very soon. In the meantime, in the between time, what does Miss Mahogany always say? Be blessed and just be you. Bye.
Protect you the best way that I know how. I'm gonna love you in the way that I should, right here and right now.